Tommy Daniels here on the Red, White, and You podcast, brought to you by Bang Solar, and joined by a friend for a long time, and a fellow Western New Yorker, a Buffalo native, a Buffalo Bills fan like myself, and he's even supporting the beard for hockey season. I love it. The great Bill Herman. First of all, Bill, thanks for doing this. Excited to have you on our first podcast together.
I know it's been too long. Thanks, Tommy.
And coincidentally, we're doing this right down the hall from each other. Bill's in his plush suite just down the road from me. And of course, I'm from my office here at the arena. Well, hockey season starting for us, Bill, next weekend at home, at least the home portion of the schedule, December 18th and 19th. Excited for that. I know you guys have been so busy over the last few months trying to get the building ready for hockey and for soccer and everything else that's happening. So give us an update. How are we looking here?
Things are looking good. We're very, very excited to get things underway. There was certainly a period of time over the last several months. You never know how things are going to transpire, and you hear about what's going on with the NHL and AHL, and knowing that things are up in the air both with those both leagues. But it's great that the ECHL is moving forward, and the Allen Americans are a part of it. And our staff has been working very diligently over the last however many months, for this moment. And we've been fortunate here at the event center. We've actually had several events over the course of the summer and fall, whereas a lot of arenas around the country in Canada had actually been closed. They've been dark since March, and that has not been the case here at the event center. We've had a lot of trade shows, and back in October we utilized both sheets of ice that we have here at the facility to do a U.S. figure skating competition, regional competition. We were a polling location for the general election, from early voting through election day. So we've actually been quite busy. We haven't let up really since March. It's gone in phases for us, in that we had the initial shutdown phase, but then we opened back up the community ice rink where the Americans practice on quite a bit. We opened that back up in late May, and then we started having some smaller trade show events through the summer, and we've been plugging right along. And all the while we've been preparing for the day that both the Allen Americans and the Dallas Sidekicks would open back up doors to their fans. And we open up with a Sidekicks exhibition game tomorrow night, and then the home opener next Friday night, and Riley Gill night on Saturday night. So we're looking forward to it all.
This is Bill Herman. He's the general manager of the Allen Event Center, and of course, joining us here on the Red, White, and You podcast. So, for fans coming into the building this year, how's it going to look differently as far as maybe concession lines? Trying to get on the elevator to go to the premium level. Sanitizing areas. Around the building. How different is it going to look from the last time they were in here? Most hockey fans, at least in March.
The biggest thing that myself or I should say, one of the earliest things that myself and new team president Mike Waddell have been talking about throughout the summer is just trying to create more space on the concourse. As a lot of fans know, things can get a little tight on the concourse, especially during intermissions. And so we're really trying to be cognizant of that and trying to create as much space as we can for fans to walk through during the ingress period, the intermissions period. And so you're probably going to see some less activity on the concourse in terms of maybe some sponsor elements, and certainly there's going to be some things, but we also have a lot of third-party concessionaire vendors that set up on the concourse, and certainly it's a balance of still trying to provide those same offerings that we've always had, and us asking those vendors to work within a more confined space. If they had a 15 by 15 foot footprint in the past, you got to take it down to an 8 by 8. And because doing small things like that and asking everybody to do that, it creates more space. So we're not a large venue like an AT&T Stadium or an American Airlines Center. We're a smaller venue. We have smaller areas of space to work within, and we're just trying to create the ability to have people social distance as much as possible. So that's one change that I think people are going to see. Tom, you mentioned food and beverage. Um, what we want to do in food and beverage is do things right. We want to be able to execute well. Um, you're going to see more items in individual containers than what people may have been used to in the past. Maybe a little bit simplified menu. We're still going to offer the same staples. We're going to have the CC's concession stand doing pizza. We're going to, of course, do the hot dogs and the hamburgers, and some of the items that may not have been big sellers in the past. And I point to things like turkey legs or some a little bit more extravagant things like that.
Sure.
We're scaling back on those particular items, again, just to make sure that our people working the concession stands are be able to execute everything in a very efficient manner and get people in and out of lines faster. So, and with that, we are going to cashless systems for food and beverage. We're not changing any of our credit card systems or capabilities that we've had in the past, but we are not going to be accepting cash at the concession stands, just to eliminate that particular touch point.
Bill, what about for fans coming into the arena? Is the procedure coming into the event center going to be different this year from last or the years past?
The biggest, not really a change, but what we're really imploring people to do is not bring bags into the facility. We're not eliminating the bag policy. We still will be implementing the clear bag policy that we started up a year ago. But that said, we really encourage people to not bring bags into the facility. And why is that? Well, again, just like the cash, bringing a bag into the facility is another touch point. It's
Yeah,
something that we have to screen. Our people working the doors, working security, if a bag is being brought in, our people need to check that bag,
sure.
and in a touchless kind of manner, and in a social distancing 6 foot kind of manner. Um, I think it's incumbent on not only our people, but on our fans that come to the building. We all try to work together and make things as easy on everybody else as we all possibly can. I think that would really go a long ways. So again, the clear bag policy is not being eliminated, but we really do encourage people to not bring bags into the facility. Leave any bags you have in your car, or better yet, just leave them at home.
So I guess my next question about that too, and it's with fans coming into the arena. I know you go to certain restaurants now. You walk in, the first thing they do is take your temperature before you can even sit down to have a burger or whatever. Is that going to be part of the procedure here for fans entering the building?
Taking temperatures is not part of the procedure, and there was an awful lot of talk about that topic throughout the summer among uh, uh, venues similar to ours. And certainly in the summertime, the talk was, well, how effective is that really? Because if it's 102 degrees outside, and someone's standing outside, maybe even just 10 or 15 minutes
Sure.
waiting to get into the building, that can alter a temperature. And at the same time, um, having COVID, if you have COVID, you don't necessarily have a temperature. So just weighing all those options in together, we determined that it wasn't the best use of people's time, and again, being efficient with trying to get people into a building. And let's face it, the other big thing with that is, if you're taking temperatures, then that would most likely involve somebody taking a thermometer and getting right up against someone,
Sure.
and there goes your 6 feet of social distancing. So again, we've had plenty of events this summer practice certain protocols and procedures, and temperature checks has not been one of them. And so we feel comfortable and confident with that going into the future. The biggest thing that we're also trying to make people aware of is obviously you have to wear a face covering.
Sure.
Um, wear your face mask, wear your face mask, wear your face mask. We certainly want people to buy their favorite menu item at the concession stand. We're going to encourage people to go right to your seats after you get your hot dog or your slice of pizza or whatever in your beer. Go right to your seats, and once you're in your seat, you can take off your face mask and eat in your seat. Um, I mentioned before about the concourse. The other big change on the concourse, in an effort to create more social distancing capabilities among people, is we're eliminating the furniture, the tables and chairs that we had oftentimes spread out in certain areas along the concourse, just to try to eliminate those potential gathering points. So we're encouraging people, go to the concession stand, just take your food straight into your seat, and at that point you'll be able to take off your face mask. But really, we're wearing your face mask. It's really been proven can cut down on transmission of the virus. So we really need people to be able to cooperate with that.
Bill, one of the biggest things I know it's for us, in minor league sports, you make you build your fan base on your relationship between the players and the fans. So, you can't go to the American Airlines Center or AT&T Stadium and high five Ezekiel Elliott as he's leaving the field. And you can't do that, down at the American Airlines Center with the Mavericks or Stars as well. But, here in this building, we've always, kind of take pride in with our players, building this bond with the fans. It's going to be tough this year. I know it's going to be tough on fans not being able to be in the high five line or get close, but I know the city is asked, and not because we're trying to be jerks, but this year more than ever, safety for these guys. These guys are in a bubble. They can't heck, I can't even go in the locker room. It's tough to do my job when I can't get to know these guys, and we have a lot of new players this year. But I have to keep my distance. So, the message from the city and from the event center is obviously, be smart about this. Go where you need to go. Like you said, come in, get your tickets scanned. Well, in this case, it will be digital tickets, but go to the concession stand, restroom, whatever you got to do, and get to your seat. Don't try to test it because it won't be accepted. It's just one of those situations that we're dealing with right now. And believe you me, if things change in 21, which we hope they do, maybe things are different later in the year. But as of right now, it's basically no, even don't even try it, because it could be a situation where, and it hasn't happened here obviously, but I've seen where it's happened in other places where fans try to test things here during the COVID times, and they're asked to leave the building. So don't even try to test it. It's not going to be accepted, and unfortunately, things might be not to your liking if you try.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Tommy, because we're minor league hockey. We're a minor league venue, and it's we really value the people that are taking time out of their schedules to come and see an Americans game or any other event we have here at the event center, for that matter. And for as much as we pride ourselves as treating certain situations with kid gloves, I think everybody can agree by now that what we've gone through for 9 months now has been no laughing matter. And while it's great that we're opening back up the doors and we're getting ready to play hockey games, welcome people back in the building, Americans fans back into the building, all that's great, but we really want everybody to cooperate and, as you said, be smart. I think I'll also throw out, be respectful of other
True.
people being in the building, that respectful toward other fans coming into the building, also respectful to building staff that are in the building. And I think if everybody is mindful of that and kind of just I've said this to our staff before plenty of times throughout the summer and fall that, walk around the building, but, make sure your head is on a swivel. If you're coming in and out of an elevator, uh, stand back a little bit first and wait for those elevator doors to open and see if there's anybody on it first, just so that we're not, people aren't converging as they're coming on and off the elevator. So I just think it's being mindful of your surroundings and, waiting to see if there's if you're rounding the corner, waiting to see if anybody else is rounding the corner on the other side, and just trying to take things a little bit slower as you uh, travel through the event center. And we've all certainly gotten used to that with grocery stores and retail establishments and whatnot. And the same thing applies here at the building.
Well, Bill, you know what? Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking your time to do this, but I wanted just for our fans to know with that, next weekend being home opening weekend and obviously hoping for a big night here for Riley Gale on the 19th, just to let fans know what they can expect when they come to the event center next weekend. I know you and your staff have been working very hard to make sure that everything's ready to go. Excited to see what the sidekicks do this weekend, and then get ready for hockey and the ice. And Kelly and his great crew, who do such an unbelievable job every year to make sure that ice is looking great with the logos and everything. We appreciate you very much. And very last thing for you, because we might have Joe Babick from the league tuning into this, who's a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And Joe Ernst is a West Seneca guy, the head of operations for the league. So give me your prediction as this will air on Sunday. What are you expecting on Sunday night for Bill's Steelers?
Well, I've been saying Josh Allen is a franchise quarterback for a couple of years, and I always thought he was going to be a good one. I was down there on the floor of AT&T Stadium, 5 rows from the stage when he got drafted, and I couldn't have been more excited then. And I'm thrilled to see what he's producing for the team now. And I think we're catching Pittsburgh at the right time, and I'm predicting the Bills' victory for sure.
Not a boy. I love it. Bill Herman, longtime friend, and worked for the Dallas Stars for many years in DFW, and of course now is the general manager of the Allen Event Center. Bill, thanks for doing this, and have a great weekend.
And Tommy, if I could add one more thing, if anybody does have any further questions about some of the policies that we'll be implementing, feel free to visit alleneventcenter.com. There's a plan your visit tab and health guidelines tab beneath that people can refer to, and there's a whole list of things that might be interesting to people and might benefit them prior to arrival at the facility.
Bill, thanks for doing this. Really appreciate it. Great information. Fans, check it out. If you have any questions whatsoever, we'll get it answered for you. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Tommy.